As you'll have heard through the week, Dame Kiri Te Kanawa is to have a concert hall named after her now. The ASB Theatre in Auckland's Aotea Centre will be renamed the Kiri Te Kanawa Theatre, with a gala concert to mark the occasion. The last time we talked to Dame Kiri in March, some questions came in for her from you. So when we caught up with her about this, we managed to incorporate some of your inquiries, because last time we ran out of minutes. And we started by asking Dame Kiri how she felt when she heard the news about the name change.
I couldn't believe it when someone mentioned it. I said, what? This is impossible. But how very, very wonderful it is, and a tribute to music and the classical music and everything, and performing arts. Wonderful.
The Kiri Te Kanawa Theatre with a gala concert to celebrate the occasion as well. It'll be a big night. It
will be a big night, and I'll be coming out, of course. And one of my singers will be included in the concert, which I'm really thrilled with, James Aiulu, who's been working over here and in America, so it's very thrilling to have him there.
This is interesting from the ASB, because firms don't tend to relinquish naming rights easily, but the ASB has been a very old mate of yours, hasn't it? An early supporter of you, I think.
Way back, 1964, 65, darling Bill Barrett, who was the managing director there, or the manager. He was a great mentor, great help, financially especially, just so generous and such a support for the foundation.
The wheels turned full circle here in a way, because about 25 years ago you sang back here and raised about $500,000 for the Aotea campaign. And then, of course, you opened it, I think, in 1990.
That's right. Well, also, the money that we raised, because the investments were so good, I think it got up to quite a considerable amount, I think almost $1 million. And Dame Kath Tizzard was another person who helped considerably build that theatre. So a lot of teamwork there, a lot of wonderful people pulling together. It takes a team to make something like this work, and I'm just so proud that it's happened. I really am.
I know you've stood in some great halls, but it'll be something standing in that hall, New Zealand's biggest tiered auditorium, I'm told, with your name on the door.
It's sort of amazing. I sort of haven't quite thought of it like that, but I think it will be a very thrilling moment when I walk in there and suddenly it's got my name on the front there. It's just amazing. But it's not about me. It's about music. It's about what we've all worked for so much. The foundation, all the people in New Zealand who have promoted young singers, all those people who have established small festivals, everything that everyone's helped. It's just amazing.
Is it a signal of some sort that Auckland may be getting more opera on stage in future?
I would like to hope so, but don't forget we have a very small community and we have to expect not too much, but there is a lively music companies and people there who are working very hard for young singers, and the opera companies working hard. All those people are working really hard to make those singers live their hopes and dreams. And we have many of them over here in England doing just that.
How are some of them going? Philip Rhodes, we know, and you've mentioned James Aiulu. He's in Manchester, isn't he?
That's right. Well, they're all over the place. It's hard to find them. But we have Kieran Rayner, Bianca Richards, Thomas Atkins, just about to go to his wedding, Philip Rhodes, of course, Julian van Mellet, who's just seems to be hitting the high spots. He's just been working with Gergiev in Verbier, and suddenly he's working all over the world. All sorts of people just ask him to come to China, to Russia. These young singers are doing amazing things by just being so innovative themselves. The foundation's not doing that. We support them. They do the work.
Natasha Wilson and Edward Lawrence, you mentioned them last time in the United States.
Yes. And of course we've got the two young Samoan boys coming up, Manasi and Samson, coming over for the Royal College of Music, which is extremely exciting because I just know the college is so thrilled to have them coming over. We have so many young people, so much talent, yet, you know, they're in, as we say, we're in for the long haul, but so hopefully they are too.
Felipe Manu. It'd be a grand thing. You mentioned that James Aiulu is coming back here. It'd be a grand thing to have a few of them back on stage together at some point in the Kiri Te Kanawa Theatre in La Boheme or Don Giovanni or Tosca or one of those productions to see them grouped.
That's a major, that's a big challenge, you know. We cannot get them. I mean, Philip Rhodes would have come back for the 20th of November for the opening of that theatre, the renaming. Julian Vermeulen says he's available. They're all available, but then suddenly they're taken off by some other event that someone's called them up on. So we're losing them all the time to, of course, exactly where they want to be, which is fantastic. They're in work and employment, which is fabulous.
When you talked to us last time about presenting the BBC Cardiff Singer of the World Award at St David's Hall, unlike you, I don't know that he could sing St David, even though he was Welsh, you didn't mention the dress, the skirt made out of the $38 bedsheet you picked up at Zara.
Well, I kept it very quiet because I'd actually worn it to Windsor Castle. I just wore it and everyone said, oh, how nice it was. So I thought, well, I'll wear it for the last night of Cardiff. And everyone kept on saying how lovely it is. And so I said to somebody, I said, well, do you actually know what this is? And they said, no. I said, well, it's a Zara bedsheet. They said, what? So then it went, blah, just like that. They just went crazy on it. And they thought, well, this is the way to show off that you can have something really looking very attractive without too much expense. And I think that's what we should be looking for with all our young people. When we help dress them, I say just choose good material, but something terribly simple. And I try to encourage young people not to spend a huge amount of money or not use designers, because that's not the way you go in our theatrical world. We aren't big sort of show off the designers, I believe. You have to show yourself off and the music.
So you were making a statement. I see Monica Barton on News Hub said you gave the most elegant of middle fingers to overpriced designers.
I didn't mean to. That was not my intention. But the thing is, I love material, and we've lost, I think, Countdown at is it Countdown? The Fabric Centre in Newmarket. We've lost that, and I used to go in there and buy masses of material and have it all made up, which I'm actually doing here now in England. All my dresses, the beautiful dresses that I've worn over the years, I've pulled them all to pieces and they've all turned into jackets. So I'm recycling all my dresses right now.
Speaking of shopping around places like Newmarket, a listener named Janice says, how often do you get back to New Zealand? What do you enjoy doing when you're home? I'd also like to know what you miss most about New Zealand when you're not here.
Oh, gosh, that's a big question.
That's a big question.
I'm about to come back in October and see my little grandson, Luther, and then enjoy some fishing up north. Then I'll come back again because I've got 4 dogs here that need my attention, and I can't leave them for too long. And then I'll go back again for the gala. I'm visiting New Zealand at least 3 times a year.
Do you feel, asks Peter Dell, as though your career and achievements internationally are given the full respect they deserve by the public? Now, this was an issue for you when you were made a member of the Order of the Companions of Honour.
Well, it seemed I think it's rather a strange one because it slipped everybody by, but that didn't matter. I didn't mind that. It doesn't matter. It's sort of one of those things that when it comes from the Queen, you sort of think, well, it would be very nice, but there again, it didn't really matter after a while.
After leaving New Zealand to pursue your dream, says Shelley Martin, your rise through the ranks at a young age was quite frenetic. How did you manage to deal with the pressure involved, and is this what you guard against with your singers in the foundation?
I think the concentration on what you have to do takes up so much of your time. And I look at, say, Philip Rhodes, who I just know he has 2 lives, his music and his family. There isn't anything else. And I know that, and that's what the same with me. It was my music and my family. And it doesn't always work out well because the children always think that they're being sidelined. But it is a very difficult career. It is all-encompassing and it takes up all your brain power to cope with the 2 areas, because looking after family, if everyone knows anything about it, is a full-time job.
Yeah. And
looking after career is a full-time job. So which one do you concentrate? So you sort of got to split yourself all the time, and that's hard, really, really hard.
I know, and that's the great dilemma, even if, for people who aren't great singers, that's life.
Yes,
some of the questions I asked you actually before, but just one more from Barnaby Mullins, who says, I remember hearing you say your voice was in the past when you retired from performing. Have you completely shut the door on singing again, or is there a chance we could still hear from you one more time?
It's that's an interesting question, and I thank them very much. But I think once you've decided to do something, you should never go back, because going back is not always a good thing. And I think if you've seen anybody else who goes back, unless it's particularly exceptional, I feel as though it's always best to say, that was it, let me move on to the next stage of my life, which is helping those young people. And I do lots of judging for competitions now. The most important thing, though, is to help these young people. And what I did in the past, in all those years, is now in the past, and I need to keep it that way. And, and sort of go gently into my retirement. Which is very busy, I must say. I thought, how did I ever have this career with all the other things I'm doing? It's amazing.
Well, just looking forward to the future one more time. It'll be a grand evening on the 20th of November.
Yes.
Exciting, as we said.
I'm very excited because I think it's going to be a wonderful evening, and I just want to thank the ASB for just giving me this huge honour, and along with my wonderful trustees who really worked incredibly hard to format this whole thing. It's sort of something that's just, only dreams are made of these things, and another dream that I never thought I would ever think of has sort of happened. I'm just so proud and so thrilled that it's a tribute to music, and I thank everybody from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you for giving us your time this morning, Dame Kiri. All the best, and we'll see you on the 20th of November.
I look forward to it very, very much, and thank you so much.